Okay, Monday's worksheet 18.1. Most of the questions should be a review for you guys. So number one, find the value of x, round it to the nearest hundredth. So x is on top. So if you just want the x by itself, you gotta get rid of the 18 in the denominator. So it's a fraction. So easy, just get multiplied by the 18 to get rid of fraction. And the 18 will cancel out. And you get just x by itself on the right side, and you have 18 times tangent of 35 on the left side. So type that in the calculator and you get a big number, but because it's hundredths place, you only keep the two numbers after decimal point. And please note that the number after the 60 is 3, so 3 doesn't make it go up, so it's just gonna stay as 60. Okay, number 3, now this time x is in the bottom, but you still do the same thing. You want to get rid of fraction, so times by x on left and right. And x cancels out, and you get x times tangent of 74 equals 16. But you still have tangent of 74 with the x, so you want the x by itself, so you want to divide it by tangent of 74. So that cancels out the tangent of 74 on the left side. And then you get an x is equal to 16 over tangent of 74. You don't have to write that down, just type that in the calculator. And you're going to get about 4.58792. And then to round it to the hundredths, this time is 58, and then the next number is 7. It's bigger than 5, so you need to round up. So it's 4.58, but because the next number is more than 5, you need to go one higher than that, so it's 4.59. Okay, number 7, this time x is an angle, right? So to get the x by itself, a lot of people are still thinking that you need to divide it by tangent. So to get rid of tangent, you don't divide it, you need to do inverse tangent. Okay, so you don't divide it by tangent. To get the x by itself, you have to do the opposite, which is inverse tangent on left and right. I put the 1 over 8 in parentheses because that's how it's going to be in the calculator, but you're just doing inverse tangent on both sides. So that will get rid of the tangent on the left side. Inverse tangent and tangent cancels out, and you get the x by itself, nothing else in front or in the back. And then on the other side, you have inverse tangent of 1 over 8. So you just type that into the calculator and you get x is, oh yeah, I changed the equal sign. Equal sign is for exactly equal to. The squiggly equal to means that it's about approximately equal to. So anytime you have to do a decimal number and you have to chop off some numbers at the end, that's when it changes. So if you get a decimal number and then see after all those numbers, the number keeps going. That's why we're chopping out a lot of numbers. And then we want to keep it onto the 10th place this time. That means this first number after the decimal point. So you're going to keep 7.1, and then the number after it is 2, so you don't round up, it's just 7.1. Just keep that. Okay, that's the 10th place. Next, says find the value of trig ratios. Again, leave your answers in simplified fraction form. You don't need to use decimal numbers, just need to find the fraction, which is opposite side over adjacent side. So we're looking at angle A, which is on the right side. So what's the opposite of angle A? Well, it must be on the left side, but besides that, you just walk across the triangle and you're gonna hit 24. So 24 is the opposite side. Gotta know these things, okay? So opposite side is always across from the angle. And then you have two other sides. There's 40 and 32. And 40 and 32, they're both starting from point A. Okay, so if you take those sides, 40 is touching the point A, and 32 is touching A. So those are both, adjacent to angle A. And the side that does not touch the point A, that's the 24, that's why it's the opposite side. Okay? So out of these three sides, 24 is opposite already. So which one's adjacent, 40 or 32? Well, 40 is called the hypotenuse because it's across from the 90 degrees. Besides the fact that it's the largest number, which makes it hypotenuse. But if you go across from the 90 degree, that's where you find the hypotenuse. So 40 cannot be on the adjacent side, 24 cannot be on the adjacent side, so that means 32 must be the adjacent side. So for tangent ratio, we don't use the hypotenuse at all. We only use the opposite side and the adjacent side. So I crossed out the 40, we're not going to use it. So opposite side over adjacent side. I don't know what happened to my opposite side. So opposite on top, adjacent in the bottom. So that's 24 on top and 32 in the bottom. Which means, yeah, that's the answer, but you need to use a simplified fraction form. So you must simplify longer way. So you could start dividing by 2 because they're both even numbers and you get 12 over 16. But you notice you could do it again. You could divide it by 4 again and you end up with the answer 3 over 4. But faster way, instead of dividing by 2 and dividing by 4, you could just divide it by 8 right away. So if you saw that they're both divisible by 8, then you would do it this way. But a lot of people don't see it, so start small, start with 2, start with 4, eventually get to 4. Okay, number 13. This time your unknown is your angle. So x is the unknown, and then across from it, 13. 13 is your opposite side. So you always need to find the opposite side first. So go to the angle first, and then find the opposite side, and then whatever side left over, but that must be the adjacent side. Again, we're not using the hypotenuse. So we use the tangent formula, which is tangent of the angle. So angle is x, is the question mark. So you always need you can't just put tangent of something. So tangent of the angle is opposite 13 over adjacent 19. Again, now I want the x by itself, so I need to get rid of tangent by inverse tangent. So that will give you the x on the left side. And just type that into the calculator, inverse tangent of 13 over 19. Calculator says 34.38034, and then you want to round it to the 10th place. So one number after the decimal point, not before. So 10th place. So 34.3, but next number is 8. So you need to round up. So 0.3 becomes 0.4. And then number 19, find the missing side. We're looking for x, but you still need to start with the figuring out which one's the opposite. So angle is 58, so across from 58, x must be the opposite, 12 must be the adjacent. So we'll start with the formula, tangent of the angle, tangent of the 58, has a little degree sign, equals opposite side over adjacent side, x over 12. So this kind of goes back to the first example. Get rid of fraction times the 12, and you get 12 cancels out. Get 12 times sine of 58 equals x. Type it into a calculator, and 12.20401. Round it to the hundredths place, so two numbers after decimal point means 19.20. So next number was 4, so we don't need to round up to 21, just keep it as 20. Okay, all right, that's it for today.